Hello, everyone. I know it's been a while since we've touched base. I have some exciting news that I want to tell everyone, but I got to tell the story behind it first. So, for the last month or so, I've been home for time off because I had surgery on my foot. Now, during that time, finished up a project, or partially finished up the project that I've been working on for the last couple of years. Now, if we go back to that, a couple of years ago, everybody was in the midst of the COVID pandemic, and truck drivers were running like crazy trying to make sure that everybody had food and that kind of stuff. And I got the notion that maybe I should write down all the things that are different because of COVID in the trucking industry. And I kicked the idea around a few places, and I realized that if I'm going to talk about how trucking has changed during COVID, that I needed to write down what trucking was like before COVID. And then if I'm going to do that, I also need to talk about how trucking has changed due to other things besides COVID before that during my time. And finally, it morphed into my mother going, "Oh, you're going to write down all your trucking stories?" So about 2 years ago, I started writing down my trucking stories. It's about also the time that I started this channel, just to try and keep me motivated in writing that down. Now, during the month off that I was off, now I haven't finished writing all the stories, but I've got quite a few written down, and I decided that instead of waiting to write down all of my stories, because I'm still driving truck, I'm still building stories, I'm still out here, I'm still experiencing some interesting things all the time. So I decided to take the first section of those stories and get them ready. I had some help from like 3 different people who went through and did some proofreading, grammar checks, paragraphs, made sure that my thoughts flowed, and that anything that was missing that a non-trucking person wouldn't understand needed clarification. I went ahead and did clarification with that. So it's official. It is available on Kindle. It is entitled Through the Windshield. The book is only on Kindle right now. We're working on getting it to print, but it's not there yet. Actually, it's the first of the Through the Windshield series. That's going to be the whole series. The first one is entitled The Journey Begins. And this is basically, I've been asked so many times, how did you get into trucking? Now, this little book, it's about 50 pages, will explain everything. And I did use my name for the book, so it is Diana Y. Palmer. If you want to look it up and read it, it'll give you an idea of my experiences of getting into trucking in the late 90s. Now, getting into trucking nowadays is completely different than that book. I've always said these are my experiences and not everybody's experiences. So, again, now, if you want to know how I got into trucking, you don't already know my story, you don't know me, that's fine. It's not going to be a whole lot of money to check it out. So I think it's like $3.99. Kindle requires you to put a certain amount of price on it. So I wanted to make sure that I kept it as low a price as possible. So it's listed at $3.99. And when the print comes out, it's going to be a little bit more because I actually have to pay the printing costs. And so that'll be the difference in the pay. But I will announce when the print is available. But right now it is available through the Kindle store, and I think I'm actually going to tag a link to it for anyone who's interested. The next book I'm actually working on is a bunch of stories after that where I came out of training and thought I knew what I was doing, and the trucking industry smacked me across the head and said, "Yeah, right." Anyway, so that's the next one. It's already written. We're working on putting everything together to get it out so that other people, but that one's gonna be a couple months down the line. So anyway, comments, likes, whatever you need. I will, if you have any questions, write them down, and we will touch base when the print comes out. Thanks. Bye, guys.